Hey, would you like to have your day go better, feel more creative, and just get that mojo back? Well, in this episode, I'm going to share with you a 10-minute morning routine. It works best in the morning. Can do it another time if you wish, but it works best in the morning. And if you do this every day, you will become better and better in every way.
Are you an entrepreneur, small business owner, or consultant looking to boost your authority, influence, and impact? The Author Switch podcast with best selling, award winning author Carma Spence is your answer. Tune in for actionable advice, powerful strategies, and engaging interviews to turn on your author switch and take your business to the next dimension.
The Author Switch.
Hi, and welcome to the Author Switch podcast. My name is Carma Spence, and I help entrepreneurs write a lead or client attracting book in 90 days or less. In this episode of the podcast, I'm going to share with you a 10-minute morning ritual that is carefully structured to activate your mind, your body, and your spirit so that you supercharge your creativity. Now, obviously, it's not going to take me only 10 minutes to explain it to you, but it will take about 10 minutes to do if you follow the routine. And I will include a downloadable PDF of the routine for you in the show notes, which will be going up soon. So, first, the first 2 minutes of this is deep breathing. What does deep breathing do for you? It can help reduce your stress, it enhances oxygen flow, and it boosts your energy levels. And the way you do this is you inhale slowly through your nose, you hold it for about the count of 7, and then you exhale through your mouth for a count of 8. It works even better if you make a sound, so it'd be, and what you're doing if you haven't done it in a while, you might feel a little dizzy like I just did now. The reason why you're breathing out for a little bit longer than you're breathing in, that's what helps reduce the stress, but it also makes sure that you empty your lungs, you clear them of all the carbon dioxide that you've been developing because that's what your body does. It takes the oxygen, takes what it needs, and it pumps out CO2. And the making a sound with it actually helps tap into a more visceral experience and helps you realize when you've actually emptied your lungs because then you can't make a sound anymore. So that's the first step, and that should take about 2 minutes. About 2 minutes. The next 2 minutes, you're going to spend gratitude journaling. So hopefully you've got your pen and your notebook. All you need to do is write down three things. Three things that you are grateful for. And if you can't think of anything spectacular, that's okay. You can be grateful for the fact that you woke up that morning. You can be grateful for the fact that there's air to breathe. You can be grateful for the fact that the sun is coming up. Just write down three things that you're grateful for. And ideally, every day that you do it, it's something a little different. You're not just repeating the same three things over and over and over again. Because number one, that gets boring. Number two, you start losing the gratitude. Now, what does gratitude journaling? Why is it included in this morning routine? It promotes positivity because what you focus on expands. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you start noticing things to be grateful for. Or, as I like to say, the more that you appreciate, the more you have to appreciate. It also increases self awareness, which is another reason why I said make it three different things every day. It helps you really look for what's going right in your life. And it helps you become more aware of those things because now you're going to be keeping an eye out because you want to come up with three new things the next day, right? It also improves your motivation because the more that you are grateful for the things in your life, the more you're motivated to do the things that you love, do the things you like, and do things that you can be grateful for. So that's 4 minutes so far. Now let's get to the next 2 minutes. This is inspirational reading. And that can be whatever you want it to be. I tend to read books about my faith. They don't have to be. It could be a Tony Robbins book. They could be there's a really good book I haven't well, I don't know if it's good. I'm assuming it's good. I bought it. I haven't read it yet, but it's a guy who created Dilbert. He wrote an inspirational book. I thought, "That's gotta be fun. I gotta check that out." Anything that's positive, uplifting, it could be a book of quotes. It could be a anything that will be inspirational and lift you up and spend about 2 minutes read you can spend longer if you don't mind this routine being longer, but you only need to spend 2 minutes doing this, and what this does is it sparks creativity, enhances your knowledge, and it builds discipline. So now we've got 6 minutes down, and I will go through the next 4 minutes after this quick break from our sponsor. Have you ever felt lost in the maze of book ideas, searching for the one right idea that resonates with your true voice and your audience? Hi, I'm Carma Spence, and I've written a few wrong books on my way to the right idea. I remember the countless drafts, the doubts, but every misstep got me closer to the right idea. Now I've decoded the process for you. Let me introduce you to my latest book, available now on Amazon. In it, I share a simple 3-step process for identifying the right idea for a book that will be best positioned to attract your ideal clients. Using this process, you'll be able to move forward and create a quality book that makes an impact with authenticity. Join me on this journey. Let's make your author dreams a reality. It all starts with an idea by Carma Spence, available now on Amazon.com. Welcome back to the Authors Switch podcast. My name is Carma Spence, and I help entrepreneurs write a lead or client attracting book in 90 days or less. Now, before the break, I covered the first 6 minutes of this 10-minute morning routine, and that included deep breathing, gratitude journaling, and then inspirational reading. So the next 2 minutes, you're going to spend doing some mindful movement. Now, this can be yoga poses, it can be stretches. One of my favorite is warrior pose. I really like the one where you have 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, and you put your arms out like kind of like this, which you can't see because I'm not far enough away from the camera. But basically, it always feels really powerful to me, and just spend 2 minutes like that. And you could also use the power pose. You could do like a Wonder Woman pose and hold it for 2 minutes. But the point here is you want to do some form of movement for 2 minutes that is mindful, meaning you're aware of the movement. You're in the moment. What this does is it grounds you in your body while at the same time waking up your body because you're first thing in the morning. I don't know about you, but I am not 100% when I wake up in the morning. So 2 minutes of mindful movement can help you do a bunch of things. And one of these is reduces physical tension. So, like, this could be another one, rolling shoulders back and down. Oh, that feels so good. That feels so good. It also improves circulation, which is always good because you want your circulation to be well so that you're not, like, going numb in parts you don't wanna be going numb in, and also it brings the blood going into your brain, which, of course, increases all sorts of mental activity, and it can also elevate your mood. So, that's why 2 minutes of mindful movement. Now the next minute, you only need to spend a minute doing this, and that is to set your intention for the day. To help you keep it to 1 minute, I recommend kind of like setting that intention before you go to bed at night, and then having it written down and ready for you to just read and remember during this 1 minute. And what this does is you what do you wanna accomplish that day? Specifically for your book, but it can be for whatever that day. And what this does is it helps you clarify your goals and get your mind, your subconscious actually, on board with what your intentions for the day are. it increases accountability because you're gonna say, "I intend to do this," and at the end of the day, you might wanna look back and go, "Did I live up to my intentions?" And it can enhance confidence because there's something powerful about going into the day with an intention. Whether or not that intention actually bears fruit is not as important as the fact that you had an intention and you moved toward it, because what that intention does is it pulls you forward. And you'll need to do that for a minute. It's easier to stick to that minute if you've written them down the night before, or if you have intentions for the week, you just read the same intention every day. Your last minute, you're going to spend visualizing. Now, I don't know if you're like me. I can't visualize, like I can't see things in my head, but I can feel them. That's how I visualize. It's not actually visual. It's sort of I feel, I hear it and I feel it. So what this does is you conclude your routine with a minute of this visualization. If you can actually visualize, so much the better. But what you do is you close your eyes and imagine achieving your writing goals. Not just today's writing goals, but just imagine, what is it like to have finished your book? What is it going to feel like when you're holding your book in your hand? Can you smell the paper? Are you hearing, maybe there's a radio show playing, or maybe you're standing in front of an audience and, showing this, going, "Hey, I just showed my book." What are you feeling physically? What are you feeling emotionally? What are you hearing? What are you seeing? Is there a flavor? Is there a smell? Make that visualization, that wonderful moment of you finishing your book, make it as real as possible. And what this does is it, because your subconscious doesn't know when you're making stuff up or when it's actually happened. So it's going to go, "Oh, this is what you want." And every time you do something or see something or around something that will help you come toward that goal, it'll say, "Yo, look here. Yo, look here." And it like helps pull you toward that goal of finishing your book. So again, this boosts your confidence, it improves your focus, and it encourages your persistence and tenacity. So there you have it, a 10-minute morning routine. Again, it's 2 minutes of deep breathing, 2 minutes of gratitude journaling, 2 minutes of inspirational reading, 1 minute of mindful movement, and 1 minute of visualization. And I'll end this episode with 3 implementation tips. Take what I've shared with you and personalize it. Make it yours. Tailor this routine to your preferences. Try out the full routine as it is. Give it, like, at least a week. Do it a few times and find out what are the pieces that work best for you and what don't work best for you. And then you can change. Okay, so, like, maybe you take 3 minutes to do that and only 1 minute to do this other thing. Or maybe you do this for half a minute and this for 2.5 minutes. Adjust it so that it becomes your 10 minutes. And maybe some of this stuff isn't important to you. Try it out first. Just trust the process. Try it out first. Give it time for you to get used to it, then start personalizing. Tip number 2 is consistency. Be consistent. Do this 7 days a week if you can. I know some days are a little bit, like, weekends are different than others, so you might not be able to do it, or maybe you're going to someplace really early that morning, so you can't do it. That's okay, but do your best to do this every day. I know I did gratitude journaling for 3 years, almost consistently every day, and it radically changed my life, radically changed my life. So this routine could very well not only change your life in that you actually finish your book, it could change your life in a multitude of other ways as well. And tip number 3 is reflection. I recommend weekly. Take a week and maybe do this in an evening, or it could be after your morning routine, and reflect on how your week went. Did anything that you did in that 10-minute routine, that 10-minute ritual, help you have a better week? And as you reflect on these things, it can help you fine tune that morning routine. Maybe you only need to do 1 minute of each thing, and then you have 5 minutes. Again, whatever works for you, reflect on what's working and what's not. And when something's not working, reflect on how you might fix it. Because fixing it doesn't necessarily, it may mean getting rid of it, but it may also mean just tweaking it a little bit so that it works better for you because we are all individual and different. So there you go, your 10-minute morning ritual that will help align your mind, your body, and your spirit to your writing goals. This is Carma Spence of The Author Switch saying, ciao for now.
If you've enjoyed this episode of the Author Switch podcast and would like to show your support, there are a few ways that you can do that. First, I encourage you to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. Additionally, leaving a rating and review would greatly help me reach more listeners and continue providing valuable content. To stay up to date with the Author Switch podcast and gain access to additional information on amplifying your authority, influence, and thought leadership through books, you can follow me on LinkedIn at Carma Spence. For those interested in catching up on previous episodes, including those no longer available on podcast platforms, you can find them all at authorswitch.com/episodes, where you can choose to watch or listen to them at your convenience. Thank you so much for your support and for being a part of the Author Switch community.